I want to ask you a question that really gears towards your genius rather than your musicianship. Nina Simone once said that the job or the duty of an artist is to make music that reflects the times that they're living in. And today's times are not only volatile, today's times are defining when it comes to who we are as a people and who you are as an individual. I personally believe Donald Trump is the best president, or one of the best presidents that ever lived. Do you agree?
I agree.
Tell me why you agree.
I just feel like he's very blunt, and he's honest. You know what I'm saying? And he don't really hold back nothing that he say. A lot of people like want to build an illusion and just pretend like they like you. You know what I'm saying? He one of those. He's not gonna pretend.
So you like the fact that he doesn't throw stones to hide his hands.
Nah.
You like the fact that if he's a bigot, he's a bigot. If he hates you, he hates you.
Right.
Not that you agree,
Yeah.
but you like how he's in your face.
I'd rather have an enemy that let me know you're an enemy than a friend that is my enemy and hiding it.
That's why I think he's one of the best presidents ever. Because if you do American history, Donald Trump's presidency is the same presidency as Andrew Jackson's presidency. It was somebody who did not know what to do with power that bankrupted the country. And with Donald Trump, a lot of people fell into his rhetoric, and we've seen a lot of prejudice. We've seen a lot of racism. We've seen a lot of genocide, homicide, suicide, fratricides. We saw a lot of things that killed people, and the music industry was put on blast. Because now we have people who make art albums that talk about still killing folks, still getting high, women still saying, I don't want a regular man, but these girls don't want a job, or they don't want to do nothing to build themselves up. And we have a big, serious identity issue within the inner city. And with that identity issue, people are looking to other people outside of themselves, because they have no knowledge of self. They're looking for other people to establish an identity for them. So then we go to the Black King Project. Why did you want to make that project, and what fueled it?
Police brutality.
Ooh,
To be honest.
a hot topic.
Yeah, every day I wake up, it's just another meme or another viral shooting of a cop killing our people. Like, it was to the point I didn't even want to look on social media no more. So I felt like I spoke to Kareem, you know what I mean? I couldn't just, oh yeah, shout out to Low Key Management too, you know what I mean? Low Key,
Right.
y'all already know. I couldn't see myself going to the studio and making a song about a girl shaking her butt, or, you know, or a trap record. I felt like Black King had to be done first. I had to put that message out. But see, what I did do is what we talked about earlier. I gave them the vibe. See, the vibe is debate, but I'm still talking something. I'm still giving a message out where people need to listen to, and just basically let our people know that we know. I know what's going on, and I'm with you.
See, that's the issue I have with that though, because I want to shout people like you out, because you actually are using and lending your voice to creative identity.
And I'm chancing it too, because that's a chance.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
people don't like stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, people don't want to hear.
I'm not going to say they don't like it. I think
Okay.
the sheep don't spend money on it.
Right.
Because Cardi B said, when WAP came out, she said, anytime I make a song that deals with my pussy, people will buy it.
Right.
But anytime that I make a song like Ring, where I talk about my heart and people really talk about my inner person, people don't give her the respect. So money defines the industry, and unfortunately the sheep open their wallet to ignorance. As an artist though, the world tries to make you ignorant from the door.
Right.
Unfortunately, a rapper in North got killed like a week or two ago. Rest in peace. And they said, well, the rapper got killed. And when you put stigma on somebody like that, then it's like, oh, he must have been in the street, or he must have been this, not knowing that anything can happen to anybody at any time, and they can find us by.
Did you see that on the news? All right, when people were looting, right, during the riots, but no, during the protests. Did you see the news when the white lady was coming out the store with clothes?
Yeah.
And then they said, Oh, she probably works there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I did. And the most egregious thing about people not giving us the respect we deserve is that we don't establish the identity of who we are because we're so busy fighting each other while the world points and laughs. The Black King Project, though, showed me that not only is there hope in people knowing who we are, but we know who we are. We just got to tell the world that we understand what our identity is.
Right.
Talk to me about the song Royalty. So I think that's one of the songs that really step out as a self-defining song. Tell me about it and why you made that.
I want to say rest in peace, Prince, and shout out to Prince and his family. When I made that record, I felt like I had like a Prince vibe to it, man. Like I just wanted to. I basically felt like a king while I was writing it, and you know, in this world, you could get distracted because you know, you're dealing with haters, you're dealing with police, you're dealing with women that talk down on black men. You're dealing with so much, so it's like you can forget your worth sometimes. So you gotta sit back and think and really understand who you are. And when I wrote that record, I just felt like I wanted to let all young black men, older black men, just our people in general, like we are kings and queens. We've been that, so don't ever forget it. So that Royalty record was it meant a lot to me.
I like how you said that because here's the thing about being a king. And this is a life lesson I learned a long time ago. Kings have rulerships and queens have dominion. Where a lot of people call themselves kings and they don't even understand what they're kings of. You have poor kings, you have rich kings. You have poor righteous kings, and you have the kings of death and destruction. When you call yourself a king, that means you're ruling something. As a king yourself, because that's what you define yourself as, what do you rule, or how do you dictate that rulership into your music?
I rule me.
Good point.
I think as being an independent artist, that's the big thing we base our career on. We try to just have the most control of yourself that you can. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to be what's that called? A puppet?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want to get pulled this way, that way, because you're never gonna be able to. How can you know who you are if you can't control you?
Good point. Good point. I like how you said that because when I go back to the song My Pride, shout out to On the Journey, that's my guy.
Shout out to On the Journey.
My pride, the subject matter isn't just loving yourself, it's also knowing who you are and the people around you. See, I got that. Even on the album when you shout out your mom, you shout out your sister, and wanting to turn back time to appreciate that time and to bring it now.
Oh, so you listening to the records?
Bruh, I don't interview you unless I listen to your music.
Okay.
Shout out to Heritage Hip Hop because we real about what we do.
Yeah,
we don't ask no bullshit questions.
Yeah.
Now, when I listen to that and you talk about the identity of who you are being a king, the most precious thing that you have that you don't own is time. So that bar was the bar of the album for me because like I said, unfortunately I lost my mom too. So I know what it is to have something and then not have it anymore. So what do you do with what you have now? By having that identity, by calling yourself a king, by making this album, by shouting out Breonna Taylor, by having a song about Karens, knowing that somebody's always watching you, what is the most important message that your album gives that people will get when they listen to it?
Positivity, great energy, and just knowing your worth, knowing that we are so much more. Listen to me, I will never die for a fucking block or street that is not mine, that I do not own. So when a motherfucker, my bad, for a person to say, oh, this my block, this my street, nigga, it's not. It's not. So I'm never gonna be one of those. I always knew that, and that's why I love my mom. I miss her and I love her. She always told me that I was somebody special and I was gonna be something big. And I thank her for that because I know that.
Let me tell you something. Let's play devil's advocate. I'm a hip hop head, so let's talk about it. Some rappers is heaven sent, but self-destruction don't pay the fucking rent. No matter how positive you are, people ain't gonna spend that money. That's what Cardi B said, right? That's an Ice Cube bar. People say, be positive, try to live, do something positive, but positive ain't where I live. You know, trash.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, positivity has its point, and the message has to be above the music. What's the most positive message you got that you relate to your music? For everybody to hear it.
You gotta rephrase that for me, like.
So our influences in life come from our parents, our music, our clothes, something that reflects your identity. I can tell from you can tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
I love being wrong because then I learn.
Yeah.
But if I'm right, praise God be the Most High because He gave me this thing. I think as a child, you were more introspective than you were expressive. You are a thinker before you are a doer. But when you do, if you don't believe in it, you won't do it. Am I correct?
Right.
Okay, so that's the vibe I got from you. See, and when you have that type of personality, there's people who influence you and give you positive messages that lead you for the rest of your life. What was that lesson that you learned that you even put in your music from the original lesson that somebody taught you?
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say, I guess that was self-taught. Because, you know, when I was younger, long story short, nobody was there. I was living in the streets. You know, I was in the streets while I real hard, and nobody was there. Like, no parents, no brothers. I had them, but they wasn't there. That's just how it happened. But I had to basically. That's what in the beginning when we was talking, I said I had to basically reevaluate myself. I had to level up myself and just know that I want more. And that's just how it happened. I feel like nobody really gave me a positive outlook on life. You know what? I'm gonna say God. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say God, and I'm gonna say just know where in my environment, just looking how everybody live and the struggles and the pain. I just knew I wanted more. So in order to want more, you have to be on a positive level, because you get back. I mean, you get in what you give back to the world. So that's what time I'm on.
And at the end of the day, everybody, I want you to walk away with this. Self-taught and self-management comes from influence. And if you don't recognize the influence that the Most High has on your life, then you never understand the influence you have on other people's, because the Most High lives in both of us, and music is our connection to God.